Do you know if they freed Britney?
I thought Britney was freed. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know she was free, but free Britney, is that over with? Is it done?
Yeah, I think she's free.
The dad's gone?
Yeah, based off of what I've seen on Instagram, she seems to be pretty free.
How much money? That's like $60 million. Hey, can we call Britney and just be like, hey, now that you're free, have you heard of jazz?
I'll DM her again. She hasn't responded to me yet, but I'll.
You know
I'll
who
send her
also
another
doesn't respond is Morgan Britney. She does not respond.
Well, it's every morning.
I've been nothing but polite. Reminds me of the money guys.
Oh, stop.
Hey, welcome to the closing beat, everybody. How we doing today? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, which means tomorrow is Thursday. So Wine and Wealth tomorrow. We're actually going to do a class on, I won't be for everybody, but we're going to talk about 401ks, 403bs, company stock plans that you may have. Show you a little back of the IRS book kind of a trick that you can do there, where you'd actually pay less taxes on your withdrawals and a little couple strategies there. So we'll hang out and do that likely in our new place. Can you tell if we're in our new place or not, right? This is our temporary kind of a set till we rebuild everything because we tore it all down. And I'll just give it away. We're not in a new place here. Here's from the top of the studio. There's me over here in the corner. And man, it's a hot mess for the moment. But last of the pieces to come out. And if you paid attention there, the truck is right there because we have to use it for a ladder to stand on top to take the lights down, because that was I didn't think of that. Anyways, if you look at the stock market off to the right-hand side of your page, rough day. We continue to pull back here. So I don't know that this is the pullback that we'll get from the friendly bet that we're having here, but there's 58 days left to go. We'll see what happens. Nonetheless, the stock market is pulling back. The last 2 days, you've seen the same thing. Every dip was temporarily bought just ever so slightly and then pushed back down. Now today it came at the end of the day. You had the Fed come out and sort of increase their timeline, or what would you call it? Shorten their timeline for tapering their bond purchases. So they're just trying to signal that little by little that could be coming up. Maybe they announce in September and taper in October or something along those lines. But the market had to pay attention to that a little bit. And really, like I've been saying, under the surface of the market, there's not a whole lot good that's going on. The market's been just trudging higher here, while a lot of stuff has actually been selling off little by little. We covered on Monday, I believe, Monday or yesterday, the sectors, how that all plays into it, what's going on underneath the surface and stuff. And a lot of that continues. So you have more and more weakness. I find it interesting doing scans and looking for stocks in the S&P that have already pulled back to a certain degree, that may be under moving averages, that maybe have broken their prior lows. Just kind of fascinating to see that all happening. Now with the news yesterday, you had home builder sentiment came out a little bit weaker than expected. It was actually the largest spread almost in 20 years there. There's only been a few other times that there's been such a miss by that degree there. Today we had housing starts that came in. We're expected to come in falling to 1.6 million. They came in at 1.53. They fell to 1.53, so negative there. However, you turn around, you look at building permits, they were higher than expected by, I believe, 200,000 or 300,000, if I'm not mistaken there. So good news there. Now we look at the stock market, well, I would say mixed news, right? If you look at the stock market here, we'll start with the S&P 500. You got your nice pullback here so far. I find it fascinating that the kids, and probably the discussion being had on TV right now about Robinhood, because they had their earnings come out after hours, I find it fascinating that we're talking about that type of retail trader, the newbie, the person who's either young or maybe just kind of getting started. They're using Robinhood, no problem. But they are the ones currently saying the market's crashed. Now what do we buy? The market's crashed. Like, we haven't even fallen 2%. How is that a crash? So it really, really sticks in my head that there is a huge group of people that have never actually been through a pullback that maybe turns into a bit of a correction, that turns into a bear market, that actually lasted and did not just immediately recover. So I worry about that. Also worry about the emails and comments I get. People say, hey, what are we buying now? We've crashed. Get your shopping list out. No, we're not quite there yet, in my humble opinion there. If you look at the S&P 500 today, you got Apple. So that was one of the bigger drags on the S&P here today. And you got Amazon as well being a bigger drag, and really a horribly boring stock here lately. So not much you can say there. Looks like it's headed back down here to 29, right around 29.75 or so. If you look, I'll just pop this up for you real quick. Always like to give you a little something extra. Here's the 5-day performance of the S&P 500, not including today. And then you look at the 5-day performance of the big five, right? The big, most heavily weighted stocks in the S&P. You only have Apple and Microsoft that are actually outperforming. You got weakness in Amazon, weakness in Facebook and Alphabet. That's continuing. You got little spurts. You have good days, of course. But over the last 5 days, here you go. You're starting to see those pull back. If you just get one of these other ones to give it up a little bit, now you have a recipe for the whole market to continue to pull back. Apple was one of those today. It almost erased everything that it had gained in the last 5 days, just like that. That's not a normal sign of just a temporary, it had a bad day. It wasn't that big of a deal there. Something to take a look at there. Now, as far as the S&P 500, still in first place year to date, even with today's pullback. It's got a spread, or it's beating the NASDAQ by about 1%, I think, still at the moment. So not that a pullback here would be scary. It wouldn't be a problem. We have great gains on the year. Let it pull back a little bit. Give us all a chance to find some new things to invest in there. One area in the market that's been popular lately that's seeing some weakness, and we just kind of track different buckets and stuff. They call them thematic ETFs. They're the ETFs that aren't index-based. They're based on a theme. It could be clean energy. It could be a specific commodity. It could be even a person. There used to be an ETF based on, I forget his name. You wouldn't know it, would you? The guy behind Michael Jackson, wrote the songs, just world-famous record producer guy. I think he's still alive, actually. There used to be an ETF based on him. Someone's going to know that, and yes, it's that guy. That's who's they had an ETF on. So if you look at the thematic ETFs, the obvious one, the ARK Innovation Group or any of the ARK funds, they've been performing weak. They were all the rage going into the end of the year, but you're seeing this weakness here, which is those potentially high growth companies that are smaller, just not seeing that there. Jets, also a weakness here this year, and it's picking up a little bit. This is just the airlines, as you could probably guess there. The theme is the airlines. Clean energy really hasn't done anything, to be honest. Big gainer last year. Solar stocks obviously really strong. This year, not a whole lot of action yet. That could change. We'll see what happens. There you go. And then you got PEJ also pulling back. One popular everybody likes to look at. Same concept there. So when you put all the thematic ETFs all together, you end up seeing there's no excitement there. That used to be where everybody was at. Where'd they go, right? Are we just waiting for pullbacks there? What's happening there? So that's the S&P 500. I'll just breeze through the rest of them here. You got the Russell 2000 continuing to pull back, and I hope it does continue to pull back for you there. You got the NASDAQ also pulling back. No breakout, apparently, right? You got to lean towards a breakout there with the uptrend. I've been saying that. This pullback almost underneath the lows would negate the consolidation here if that's what starts to happen. Well, that's how technical traders would look at it. So that's what you have there. And then in the Dow, up 15% year to date, and today any support driven by Salesforce.com. Kind of a nice move there. Goldman Sachs puts a $335 price target on it, so how could you not own the stock? $335. That's over the next year. I think it goes to $335. And great to see relative strength on an otherwise weak day. Now it didn't hold up. Let's see if we can do this. It didn't hold up at the end of the day. So after the Fed announcement, see how it gave up most of its gains? This is a 5-minute chart. Started off the day strong, Fed announcement came out, and then there was just broad index type selling that took it back down. But that one gets a relative strength award for today. What do we got going on here? There we go. So that's Salesforce.com in the Dow. Now, if you're playing Guess the Dow, we've got some action here now, right? We've got a little bit of up and down. Let's see how we stand there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of movement. Leaderboard. Your top 5 are Jacob, Caitlin, Sohan, Heidi, and Andrew. Very tight there at the top. Good guess for Jacob there, at least for a Wednesday. But yeah, that's what I got. Oh, and the chat today is wild. I'm gonna put that up there. It's a wild.
Oh, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones. That's what I was. Thank you, Globetrotter, 88. How are you a Globetrotter when that's probably the year of your birth? Oh man, I love it. You got to do that all over again though, because it wasn't recording. What? Gotcha. All right. Anyway, so Guess the Dow. If you want to play along, have a little bit of fun there. $100, right? We're just giving away the $100. We're like Mr. Beast over here. We did $100. That's all we're allowed to give away, actually. All right, let's go to the sector breakdown here for today. All right, we do things a little bit differently. We've been playing with sectors a little bit differently this week. Consumer discretionary was the bright spot today, and there wasn't a lot of bright spots out there. It was the only sector to finish positive on the day, about 0.4% on the day. Now, that's going to be thanks to Tesla. Had a great reversal there for Tesla, but also Lowe's. We happen to own this one. I'm excited to see that move in Lowe's, and TJ Maxx. These two earnings-related stocks really helped you out there. Now, if you look inside consumer discretionary, Lowe's was, Lowe's was the most oversold stock. There wasn't a whole lot to look at in there. You have, well, maybe T-Mobile was another one, but after today, your most oversold stock is gonna be, I believe, T-Mobile, just want to point that out, and General Motors would be the other one there. On the upside, your most overbought stocks, if you like looking at that sort of thing, you're gonna be looking at Garmin and Yum Brands, both of those two, the most overbought stocks in consumer discretionary. Energy, there we go. What has been the weakest, and today was the weakest, I believe. Yeah, it lost 2.1% on the day. So I would tell you, Hess is the most oversold out of all of them, meaning it is, compared to the others, it is the most oversold stock there. So if you like trying to buy those little dips there, you got that. But there are no overbought stocks in the energy sector. Isn't that interesting? Not one, a solid zero. So that's energy. Consumer staples. Let's take a look at consumer staples here for the day. That comes in sort of down by last place, fourth from the last, down 1.2%. Great reversal here for consumer staples. Maybe not what you want to see all in one day if you just bought into it or something. But if you're looking, we go to consumer staples, most overbought. And that changed today. Kellogg's actually sold off a little bit lower. Kroger's a good one. Most overbought. Kroger for consumer staples, and Johnson & Johnson, which already appears to start its little rebound or reversal. Constellation Brands would be the most oversold here in the short term. And then Lamb Weston, LW, would be the one as well, if you're taking a look at that. So I just wanted to point out a few different sectors with a few different oversold, overbought stocks, because we're getting, it's a stock picker's market at the moment, and we're getting into that time period where if the market continues to pull back, you go shopping. You're either looking to sell positions that have done really well and take that money and buy something that's cheaper, or you're new, coming in with new dollars. Maybe you're looking for a discount, or maybe you're looking for the stuff that's held up. So I'll probably spend the next couple days just going through those different areas of the market so we can help you build a list. What you do with it is, of course, up to you. Speaking of up to me, I gotta be honest, Cody. Gotta be a little bit honest with you. I snuck in a couple trades today, and I didn't say anything. So far, so good. But you remember I was talking about Pfizer here. So yesterday being extended, I woke up again today, saw this thing still extended. So I'm now short Pfizer there. Sold at $55 calls. I just think it's pulling back. That is way too extended for that one. I get the argument. You look at a lot of these biotech stocks; they're living the life of the belief there is that Congress will not actually be able to really control drug prices, right, compared to previous administrations, both Republican and Democrat. So there's this perception that drug prices could rise, and that would, of course, help these guys in addition to all the virus news. But I saw that going around a little bit. Take your stance on that. Nonetheless, new high for Pfizer, and I'm not buying it. Obviously. One that I did buy, I did Las Vegas Sands too. This one's going to hurt me, so I'm sorry if it ruins everything here. Las Vegas Sands, to me, that's overdone. So sold some puts on Las Vegas Sands, and nothing yet, but we'll see what happens. I just kind of had a wild hair today. I'm like, enough is enough with some of this stuff. I got to get in there and take a look. But that was the only new low of the day. I saw it come up on the new low alert thing that we have, and so I'll take a shot. Let's see what happens there. Did you place any trades and not tell me?
No, I didn't. No, I've been a little busy with the move here, so no.
Yeah, everybody else is moving, and I'm like, I'm going to do some trading. I love it. Okay, couple others. Oh, let me point out just a couple others here in the new highs. CBOE, we happen to own that one. Great move for that one today. Got a bit of a bad tick there at the end of the day. Big move. Apparently, CME Group is bidding to potentially buy them. So if you're looking at CME Group and you saw that decline, that's the reason why. Juniper. Oh, typed it wrong. Juniper. I haven't looked at this one in a while here. So Juniper hitting new highs as well. Just thought it was an interesting pattern maybe. Sloppy kind of a breakout there. But there wasn't a lot to choose from in the new highs today. You got Amphenol as well. They make $1.5 billion on $10 billion worth of sales. Double-digit sales growth expected for them over the next year. You get the reason why that's sitting at near highs there? Really, really strong and just running very, very well as far as the company goes at the moment. So I thought I'd point that out. Let's do stocks in the news. And then the stream will have caught up and I can take a look at all the fun stuff you guys are saying. One of my favorite ticker symbols ever. It's Krispy Kreme, but it's D-Nut is the ticker symbol. That's how you have to say it. Sold off to new lows here today. They missed on earnings, man. They tried to raise guidance, say a lot of good things. Margins are tighter. It's a tough one. They just went public. It's very tough for them. I don't know. I don't even know where one's at. Like I used to like Krispy Kreme. Now I don't really care. Lowe's, we already talked about that. That's earnings related across the board. Beat on earnings, revenue, and raise the guidance going forward. They are seeing nothing but strength there. Target, they missed on sales. Overall sales miss. Maybe finally we'll get a pullback in Target. This has been a beast. If you've owned Target for a while, you've been sitting back just hanging on. Uber, there's an app. It's called Get Upside is the app there. Uber's doing everything they can to try to attract drivers because the demand is there. They keep saying the demand is there. We're having a hard time finding drivers. I guess they've fully integrated the Get Updates app now, which for drivers just allows them to get discounts on car-related stuff, gas, etc. So that was kind of in the news there. It's not new news, but it is now becoming news right now, more of a headline, because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about over the last couple days for financial news. There you go. And T-Mobile says that, yeah, customer records were part of what was hacked, as we talked about the other day. They just basically confirmed it, and they're working with the hackers at the moment. 100 million people's information has been stolen. So, hey, who knows? Maybe they'll give us something on that T-Mobile Tuesday thing, you know? The old app over there. Maybe we'll get a T-Mobile Tuesday, what is it, credit lock or credit freeze? That'd be nice, you know? That's probably the way they should use that thing. Or just give away that we use that app. I deleted it, actually.
Really?
Because it popped up something, and I'm like, I thought this was supposed to give you free stuff, and so I just got rid of it.
They had a good one yesterday.
Oh, what was it?
It's a free Whopper from Burger King.
That's a good one?
Maybe not.
Do you know where Burger King is even at?
Not around
I
here.
have no idea. You know what I would eat at Burger King? I don't think I've really even ever ate lunch there. Breakfast, French toast sticks. Oh,
Never
you
had.
could kill me on French toast sticks. Phenomenal. That's a plug for, and I'm giving them that plug. You get to get yourself. I don't know if they're still around, like French toast sticks, but holy cow, very good stuff. All right, I'll take your questions here if you have any, because that's enough jibber jabber from me. Tomorrow, you got BJ's earnings wise. You got BJ's, Estee Lauder, Kohl's, Macy's. You've got Applied Materials. That'll be an interesting one in the semiconductor space there, and Ross Stores. Hershey's paying out 90 cents, and Sherwin-Williams 55 cents. That's pretty much it there. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Okay, so what did I miss? What's the good stuff? Give me the details here.
Well, it feels like the election's a week away with the way this chat is today. It's incredible. Political.
Yeah.
Political about what you're talking about.
Well, maybe we should talk about that.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Fire them up
I
even
love
more.
it, man. Hey, the markets obviously teach you one thing. There's always going to be two opinions. It has to be, otherwise there couldn't be a market. For every buyer, there's got to be a seller, at least in the stock market. So there's always going to be a difference of opinion. Do you see people fighting? Like, do you see people, I mean, maybe it's just fun banter on TV and stuff, but it's a respectful debate, and ultimately the loser is the one that loses money, right? I mean, that's the measurement of it. So I find it fascinating when you get into other aspects of the world. We've all of a sudden come to this type of world where you're not allowed to be on one side or the other without being really a horrible person. So speak up. You guys are welcome to speak up. There you go. Say what you want. It'll get filtered if it's like a bad word or something in the chat there. But amen. You're allowed to have a difference of opinion. Now you got to be nice about it if someone doesn't agree with you. That's what I taught my daughter. You don't have to agree with everybody. You just can't be mean to them when you don't agree with them, unless they're rude to you. and you go for it. Timothy Rogers, man, that's a good guy right there. Where'd the tool in the dojo go? To sectors coming back. Yep. Actually, I have a meeting on Thursday or Friday to work on the data or the the geeky stuff behind the scenes that connects everything. So we're making good progress there. We just left the other company that was giving us the data, and it was one thing led to another. We had to find somebody else. You want to sell your GE? Well, so okay, here we go. There's GE. Not a whole lot going on here. There's no reason to believe this is going to pop. What would it take? What's going to happen there? You got earnings in the back. What are they? It's a rear view mirror there. What is it? What's going to get outside of this range? There's nothing to do it there. You wouldn't want to be somebody that says, I'm holding on to GE for my penny in dividends there. I'll take my penny and I'll wait for it to pop. Let it pop and then go play with it. Take that money and go put it to use somewhere else. And when it does pop, you say, I missed the first part of the move. No big deal. Give me a little pullback and I'm in, right? That'd be much better, in my opinion, than sitting there with dead money. I'd put a little, they call it a time stop. Yep. It's called a time stop. Takes too long, you move on and do something else. Hey, Dustin, if you've never been margin called, have you even lived? That's right. Yeah, that's called, what do they call it? That's earning your stripes, right? You get a margin call. The first one is, what does this even mean, right? In my day, it was a letter, too. They would physically send you a letter. So, you got to keep that stuff, right? Earn your stripes there. Everybody's got to get it. And they go, I probably ought to learn a few things before I start tinkering with that. You wish people would be smarter, just sit on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of that's come up. I'm always like searching for both sides, and financially, I want to see what the argument is for spending money, not spending money. I just like seeing what people say, and so YouTube doesn't know what to think of me when I log in, so I get a little bit of everything. I just don't like the news side of it. Let's talk about the money. $3.5 trillion. You want to spend it? Okay, I want to hear the details, right? And then we can argue what's good and what's bad. That's fine. I like that stuff. Yep. I love it. What do you think of the 1 year trend of Beyond Meats? So, boy, that faded fast, right? Old Beyond Meats was all the rage there for a while. There's no trend, so there's nothing to say like, hey, what's the 1 year trend and what will it be? There's nothing happening here with this company at the moment, stock-wise. Obviously, it looks like a heart monitor. You have your moments of excitement, good news, and all that stuff. But there's no reason to say, right here, I'm going to get another one of these. It's a pure guess because it's just trending sideways. It's a hot mess at the moment. So would you think a stock is consolidating in a very frustrating range, if you want to say it that way? Yep. So I have nothing to say good or bad about that one because it's just perfectly sideways. You still hold your breath on China? I think people in China that know what's going on are still holding their breath. Yeah. Do smaller investing companies like ourselves use dark pools? No need to. That's something we're working on is so when I say, I don't think there's anything wrong with us saying this, by the way, but if we're looking at one of the stocks that we own, if there's $7 million in the one stock, I want to show the number, and how many shares we own and all that stuff. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but because of that size, right, as a company, we manage just over 140 million now. So for us to move in and out of a position, there's no need to go outside the general market that I've found, anyways. Because we don't mess with the penny stock. We don't mess with the low volume stocks and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's there you go. Got to get them fired up. Yeah. Well, I like the uplifting comments there. Yeah. What's a good ETF for industrials? Well, it doesn't make it good, right? So I got to be careful saying good because good could insinuate, or if I say good, then that could make it seem like it's going to go higher. I will say that probably the best one in terms of volume, participation, the options market, general liquidity, all the stuff you would look for if you were trying to buy and sell it and do it easily would be the XLI, be ticker symbol XLI. It's probably the most popular one. It's got to be the most popular one by far in terms of volume. Yep. Oh, yeah. I can't argue. The question is, do you think Amazon's a buy? I can't argue with someone looking for a discount, saying, okay, we're taking a hit here. I like Amazon for the long term. I just didn't like it up here at 3,600. I can't argue with that. The problem is, do you think it stops here, right? Is there any reason right now to dive in with 100% of whatever the position is you were going to put on? And I think the answer is no. I think you can get it cheaper, so you can nibble, but you've got the market sort of teetering here a little bit, hinting. You've got stocks under the surface, hinting. If that all puts more pressure on Amazon, you might be able to get a better price. At least I would be willing to take that bet versus bet 100% all in one shot there. Hey, guess what? We're going to pack all of this up. It's right here. This is all getting packed up. We're taking it over to the new place there. So I'm going to get out of the way and let you guys enjoy your spirited chatting there. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your day.